Hi everybody, how's it going? Today I'm going to do a quick review for Twin Peaks: The Television Collection on Blu-ray. This is a set that came out a couple years ago, I don't exactly, 2019 it seems. There's a couple sets of Twin Peaks on Blu-ray. There's the entire mystery, there's From Z to A, and there's also a separate limited event Blu-ray set, which is the Twin Peaks: The Return, Season 3. I got this one. This people kind of warn you sometimes about this one. Don't get it. It's not that great. It's missing stuff. It doesn't have Fire Walk with Me and the missing pieces. This is the only one I can ever regularly find on sale. The entire mystery seems to be out of print. Z to A is like $300 or something. So they're either insanely expensive or out of print. This one's pretty affordable. Actually, it's quite affordable. So this is the one that I got. It's as good. First thing I want to say, huge fan of Twin Peaks and David Lynch in general. I always have been. So this is my favorite show for sure. It's not my favorite film, but this without a doubt is my favorite show. I've seen this show. I don't even want to say how many times I've seen it. I've seen the Return season 3 2.5 times or so. So that's that. First thing first, though, this packaging is terrible. You might have seen that in reviews. I can confirm that this is probably the worst packaging I've ever seen for a set. I normally don't care about packaging too much because I really only just keep my stuff on the shelf, and I like steel books once in a while, but yeah, this is probably the worst. I will show you why. When you open it, you're greeted to this hellscape of Blu-rays. You also see what is this? Planet Earth 2. I put that in there, because I was watching. But you basically have all these Blu-rays, and you have these little dividers, which are actually quite hard to move around. They feel like they're going to break off constantly. And then you have these Blu-rays, which are always falling off. It's horrible. Nothing in here is designed well. Everything feels cheap. It feels like the Blu-rays are popping off. They have stacked Blu-rays on top of each other to fit in here. So if you're someone that gets really worried about scratching and stuff, you're just gonna, and it's hard to close. It's just horrible. It feels cheap too. Even this cover feels like somebody just printed this out on their computer. It's awful. You'll definitely want to rebox that if you're someone that's really serious about preservation and everything and how you store your Blu-rays. I'm not, and I probably will rebox this just because, Blu-rays are very scratch resistant, but I'm actually afraid that that's going to get scratched up. So I had to show that off because plenty of people have talked about it. Yeah, it's fucking garbage. It's absolutely terrible. This is complete crap. I can't believe they released it like that. It's actually that bad. So let's talk about the quality. The first thing I want to say is the audio, I think, for the first season is a 7.1 DTS mix, and then I think for DTS HD Master Audio Limited Event, it's a 5.1 mix. I can't really ever comment on the audio too much because I don't have like a 5.1 surround system. I just have a basic sound bar and a subwoofer. My system is okay, it sounds okay. That's the best way. It's better than TV audio, but it's not. I don't have a crazy Atmos system, so I can't ever really comment on that. It sounded fine. It sounded maybe better than I remember, but pretty good. If I have cold brew coffee, by the way. If I had a full sound system, of course, I would put it through its paces, but that's the extent I can tell you for that part. But the video quality. So, I will say, wow, about this video quality. I don't think this is the best looking Blu-ray transfer I've ever seen. I'm not going to say, oh, this is one of the hidden gem releases, because especially nowadays with 4K, we're always wanting we're waiting for the next 4K release, and I think a lot of us folks that are into collecting and getting Blu-rays and stuff kind of wait around for that new, crystal clear reference quality. That's not this. There are some Blu-rays that look amazing. Like, for instance, I mentioned I just watched the film Inherent Vice on Blu-ray, and I thought that disc, that transfer looked so good, for many different reasons. Color palette, everything, film grain structure was beautiful. But it honestly looked almost as good as a 4K. It looked like some bad 4Ks, I will say. You know, some 4K transfers that come out and are not that great because um, they don't look that much different than a Blu-ray. That's probably what this is. It might even be better than some 4K releases. Some 4K releases are you'd be surprised with low bit rates and stuff. But it looks excellent, is what I'm trying to say. Not the best, but wow, nothing to scoff at. And really, what makes this for me, this is a tremendously more exciting pickup than I thought it would be, because my intention with this was just to say, you know, I just really want to own Twin Peaks. You know, I'm not sure if it's still on Netflix or not. It might still be on there, but I know these. It's just again a concept of these shows jumping around or being taken off and sitting in limbo while you're waiting for another streaming site to pick them up, and then sometimes a streaming site that or streaming service that you don't have. Oh, Paramount Plus has this now. I really want now I have to get Paramount Plus. It's that mindset that I'm trying to get away from, you know, sometimes. So I really wanted to own this is what I'm saying. And I just figured, hey, I'll just get it on Blu-ray. And I wasn't even thinking about the transfer quality because I have only watched Twin Peaks on Netflix. Now, you please, I would love if you would correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know what you think has been uploaded to Netflix. I think it's a DVD. I saw a couple people say, "Oh, because there might be like a 720p rip or something of the show." To me, the Netflix version, which I've seen like 15 times, it looks like a DVD rip, basically. It doesn't look bad. I don't think it looks like shit. It's not like some, you know, older shows that are uploaded in such a horrible state that it looks like it was recorded on a VCR in the 90s. You know, somebody recorded it in their living room. It's some are that bad. But the DVD on Netflix looked okay. It looked like a late 80s, early 90s TV show. You know, not good quality, but good enough. Seeing it on Blu-ray now, this is that's why I think it was definitely a DVD quality. I was instantly shocked by how clear this was. I've never seen Twin Peaks like this, and watching it now in Blu-ray, even though it might not be the best transfer ever done, it's such a difference that it's, you know, when we first got Blu-rays and we were so shocked by the quality difference, it's that like level for me. And especially that I have seen it so many times, everything is burned into my brain of that version of the show, which I'll talk about, even video quality and fidelity, right? But colors are different. And when you watch something so many times, every little detail gets burned into your brain, like the color of the chairs in the booth at the Double R Diner are different in a good way in here. And it's just, again, it's like I'm watching it for the first time. So video quality right from the get-go is amazing. Now, in terms of special features on here, you have Log Lady intros. Those are awesome to watch. Those were not included on Netflix. And those looked, when I first started watching it, I thought, okay, that looks pretty good. I'm thinking it looks what I remember it looking like. And then as soon as the sequence started, boom, almost crystal clear to me. I thought, whoa, this is really different. And then when it gets into the show proper, it's unbelievable. I mean, it is so clear if you have never seen Twin Peaks on Blu-ray. It's shockingly better. There are certain scenes, you know, certain scenes are better looking than others, but there are scenes like especially anything that involves light or reflections is so clear now. Like there are scenes, you know, long shots of the hallways in the high school and things like that with the light reflecting off the linoleum floor. And it's so vivid and bright. I've never seen that before because those types of details I could never see them in a DVD. That data like wasn't there presented to me. And I'm almost getting like an HDR kind of effect. It's that bright. So I think the brightness levels in this are very high and very, very well done. Now, to be fair, I'm watching this on a LG CX OLED TV. So I have a high contrast, you know, that kind of helps for sure. OLEDs kind of make everything look kind of good. But nonetheless, I still think that this reaches kind of what to me seems like HDR level colors and vividness. Seeing everybody's makeup now and details on their face I never would see before. And just everything has so much detail. The colors, especially the Double R Diner, I pointed that out because it was one of the first scenes where I thought, whoa, this is different looking. Like, it looks so bright. The colors are so. The chair had this pink pastel coral sort of color to it that I had seen before, but not that vividly. There's a scene when they're in the library when they're first questioning Bobby, and there's the globe in the background that is so blue, and I sound like crazy, like it was so blue, man, but really, like if those images are burned into your brain looking a certain pale SDR color. Again, this is still SDR, but it is so good. It's so good, which screams for a 4K release. I mean, how crazy would that be? So watching a show that you've seen a million times for what again feels like the first time now is an awesome experience. That's why I recommend this if you haven't seen the show that way. Um, so yeah, what else is there to say about this, man? Like, this makes me feel, I'll say this, this makes me feel like, to me, the show now looks like what Fire Walk with Me looks like. Like, Fire Walk with Me, I have seen on Blu-ray, and so I've always just kind of felt like, well, yeah, that one looks a lot better because it's a movie, so of course it is. But now this is, it's not quite shot in the same style as Fire Walk with Me, which has a much darker, personal, up close style. There's lots of close up shots in that movie, whereas Twin Peaks as a TV show has a lot of wider shots, shots with two characters in them, not close up in their face. But it looks like a film, like it's on the quality level of a film. So it actually looks more like I'm watching a movie now than a TV show. And especially, this show was definitely shot at 24 frames per second. My TV has this thing that lets you properly show 24 frames per second without jerking. It does it in a smooth motion. It's not the smoothing of soap opera thing. It's not that. It's a different thing. And I can always tell when that happens because we actually don't watch 24 frames per second content properly most of the time. So I think we get used to this jerky feeling. And when you actually watch it properly for the first time, it looks like there's something wrong with the picture. And if you watch more and more content that way, you get used to it. But I can still see when it's happening, if that makes sense. So this was definitely shot at 24 frames per second. And that just adds to the film like quality. So now it really feels like I'm watching a movie. And it's awesome. It's like I'm watching the movie again. The Twin Peaks, the season 3, The Return, I didn't get to that yet. I was more reviewing seasons 1 and 2, which is what I prefer. I know that's heresy to say, but I like season 3, but I don't love it as Twin Peaks. I have a lot of reasons for that. I think David Lynch really just wanted to do more of his cool short films, and the only way he was really able to get funding for that, because I don't think he really gets a lot of funding now, is to basically do it under the guise of Twin Peaks. And the story structure for Twin Peaks has always kind of worked to not, the plot progressing very slowly, and especially with an 18 episode runtime, he could do that slowly and show these little character pieces that he wanted to, which is how Twin Peaks has always operated. But I really do think that that was what happened there. I don't think it works quite as Twin Peaks, and I think it goes too far, even for Fire Walk with Me, which has that slower, darker tone to it. It just doesn't work for me. But if I were to view it as like a collection of David Lynch short films, I think it's incredible. That's my opinion though. But season 1 and 2, they're not even perfect because we have that whole stretch of season 2 where David Lynch isn't directing anything. Yeah. So, anyways, this is phenomenal. Really, really great stuff for a fan. Not, like I said already, not the best transfer, but honestly, not a bad transfer at all. A very commendable transfer, and something very special if you're a fan of Twin Peaks. You need to watch this, because if it's still up on Netflix, the next place that Twin Peaks goes, I wouldn't be surprised if they upload the DVD rips again. Stuff like that happens a lot. Even someone like HBO does that. They will shoot shows in 4K HDR or 4K Dolby Vision and then not upload it in that format for you to watch it in. Stuff like that still happens frequently, so it's nice to own something like this, finally. All right, that's it. Everyone, have a great day and peace out.